welcome back to my channel. So today's video is very important. Please stay tuned, take notes, think about things that you may need to relate to other people in the comments. It is appreciated. But first, hi, I'm Alicia, i.e. Alicia J, the walking talking baby doll, and hopefully I'm here to give you a good day or a better day. Okay. So I'm not gonna waste too much time. I had wanted to do a video about something a little bit more near and dear to my heart, but I want to take a little bit more time on that video and just treat it like it's special. So I'm going to put another video up today. Well, two videos. It might just be one or it might be two, depending on how I feel. But these videos, us as women, us as ladies, we need to understand the shifts and when to jump ship. And you're going to hear exactly what I'm talking about. Watching these two ladies discuss certain things, certain flags, and I just want to bring it to my viewers so that you are aware and that you have a choice on the matter of what you can do, because you could do something right now about it. I hope I'm being kind of clear there. I probably won't come up on the back end, but yeah, take the information, run with it, share, have important discussions. Don't panic, have important discussions, and here's the videos.
If you are a woman or a minority, be careful where you bank. As a business owner, I have had my business account with M&T Bank for almost 2 years now. And the other day I tried to use my card to purchase something and it kept declining. And I was like, I know I have money in my account. My business account has never been on zero. So I use my other card for my personal account and it goes through because I'm thinking something wrong with the machine at the store. But no, it was my card. So I called the bank when I got in the car, only to find out that my card had been shut down. And my card was shut down because apparently they sent me a letter on July the 17th, let me know that they are no longer doing business with me and that they wanted to terminate the banking relationship. So I'm like, well, tell me why. They told me they didn't have to give me any explanation and that the bank periodically goes through their accounts and determines who they want to continue banking with. And it's a set of criteria that they don't have to disclose. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a mental health therapist. So I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize my license. I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize my practice or my bank account. So there has not been any fraudulent or red flag behavior on my account to say that it needs to be canceled or shut down. So I had never heard of this before. I was in complete shock and I was frustrated. I was just like, what is going on? Because I already have dystopian fatigue. Now I'm going to coin that phrase, dystopian fatigue, with everything that's going on in the world, with the person that's in office and the craziness that just happens every single day. I feel like we're living in the times of dystopian, and with it just coming every day, it fatigues you. And just also seeing how people just in general are acting, how children are not well, mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's a lot of changes in children that are scary and disheartening. And it also makes me wonder what life is going to look like for them 20 years from now. But anyway, so I was just flabbergasted. My flabbers were gasted, to say the least. So I'm like, someone needs to explain to me what's going on. So they say to me that something about my relationship with the bank. And I said, well, what was I supposed to go into the office and fraternize with the tellers? Like, what are you talking about my relationship with the bank? But I didn't know that this was a thing. I thought, like, I had never heard anyone mention this before. I have friends that are business owners. I had just never heard this before. So of course I go to the TikTok library. And if you Google closed bank accounts or bank suddenly closes your account, there are a lot of stories about this. I had no clue. But the commonality that I noticed was that it was women accounts that were being closed, all within the last year. So I'm like, not saying that some men accounts haven't been closed, but the majority of the videos that I've seen have been women. White women, minority women, black women, women. And so when I think about the person who's in office and the agenda that has been pushed and has been pushed and trying to be pushed, is reversing the hands of time and making sure that women can't have bank accounts, because there was a time when we couldn't. when we had to ask for a man's permission to have a bank account. They are trying to get us back to that place. And who are they targeting? Women who have businesses. Because, of course, if we couldn't have bank accounts, we damn sure couldn't have a business. And women who have small businesses, because my practice is an independent solo practice at this time. So that was just crazy. Do research on who owns your bank. Again, mine was M&T, which I think Mercantile and Trust is what it stands for. And it's based in Baltimore, Maryland. But I'm sure they have vendors all over the place. I'm sure people may have accounts with them outside of Maryland. I don't know. But to me, they're a small bank, in my opinion. They're not like a Bank of America. They're not a Wells Fargo. They're not a Truist. So that's why I went with them, because I just figured, let me give them the business. But no, bank with the big banks. Now, I will not bank with Bank of America, ever. They have a lot of miscellaneous fees that don't make sense to me. And I learned that back in 2000. When I opened my first account, it was Bank of America. And when I tell you they nickel and dime me as a college student who didn't have a lot of money, when I found out you had to pay $10 to go in, was it $4? It was either $4 or $10 to see the teller. If the teller serviced you at the bank, they charged you for that with a straight face. And so I said, I'll never do Bank of America again. But my personal account is with Wells Fargo. So what did I do? I was frantic. I had to get all of my incoming paying vendors. I had to switch all of that money to my personal account, because they were telling me that my account would be closed completely on August the 18th, which is tomorrow. I didn't find this out until August the 14th. So I'm wrestling, trying to hurry up and get my incoming payees switched over, which is Medicaid and insurance companies. Like, it's crazy what I had to do. And I switched it to my personal account because I didn't know how much time it would take me to open up another business account. So I said, well, let me just do that first, and I can always switch it from my personal to my new business account. After I did all that, I could woosah for a minute, but I'm still like, I need a business account. I do not want to commingle my funds. I just don't. And so later on that night, I went online and I applied for, excuse me, a business account with Wells Fargo. It was approved in seconds. It was opened within seconds, because I've been a personal customer of theirs for years. So I'm considered low risk. But after I put my money in, I just felt like a little vulnerable. Like, will I get a letter from them that basically will not give me any reason as to why my account was canceled or closed? Do I need to keep my money under a mattress? Do I need to get all of my money sent to me by hard check now and just cash it however? I mean, I just was wondering, what should I do to prevent this from happening again? But I spoke to the tellers and I was like, listen, does Wells Fargo have, do y'all do this to y'all customers? And they were like, no. Like, they looked at me like they had never heard of such a thing. So I said, well, let me make a video in case other people are getting this letter, just saying out the blue that they're canceling and closing your card and your account with no reason. Be careful, do research. And Wells Fargo doesn't have the best reputation. I know that, but I have not had this problem, and I hopefully will not have this problem. But M&T is definitely on the shit list. And I heard the same thing happens at Bank of America. So just do your research of who you're banking with and ask the right questions, because I think it's all a part of the plan to reverse women back to submission.
I want to share this before I go to bed, and it just leaves my mind. So a couple months back, a girlfriend called me in the middle of the night, and she was like, hey, Yaya, be careful about what you say online about this administration. I know a whole bunch of rich people who have long money, old money, people who know people that know people, and they're saying that this administration is something different. So be mindful about what you say, because they may come after you, right? So I pull back a lot, but I haven't kept my mouth shut because I'm hard-headed. That's who I am. So today I'm sitting downstairs watching TV, and my roommate, who was a white male, came to me, and he basically said, hey, I don't know how you're going to feel about this conversation, but I just spoke to my cousin, who's a white man that works in special intelligence. He's telling me, with everything that he knows, I should be telling you, because, you and your boyfriend, if you're thinking about leaving this country, you better do it now, within the next 6 months to a year, because there might be an opportunity. There might be a chance that you won't be able to get out. And today, when I saw footage of them painting the fence black on the wrong side, I remember thinking, I don't think they're painting it black so that Mexicans can't get in. I think they're painting it black so we don't get out. I'm big on signs, and for him to come and tell me this. He said his cousin, who was in intelligence, said that this administration really is mimicking what happened over, in 1940 something. And I was like, yeah, I know. Like, we all have talked about it. He's like, no. He said in as PC without being like insulting as possible, but being direct. You as a black person, if this administration is going the way that it's going, you will be treated like the German people or the Jewish people back then. And I'm like, what? He said, once they start assigning homes, it's a wrap. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? There could be a point where they're going to take the people in Washington and put them in certain areas, black folks. Then they're talking about possibly coming to Atlanta, and I guarantee you, he said they're going to start at the airport and start scooping up black people and putting them in certain areas. And I'm like my mouth is just dropped because I'm thinking of all these documentaries that I watched, and it's hard to comprehend that it can happen, right? So then I'm telling him, like, hey, my boyfriend, he's a nurse. And I keep telling him, like, your nursing degree is a golden ticket for us to get out here. But he's so adamant about staying. And I think it's because he wants to buy property. He thinks that all this will pass. Like, he's mindful of it, but all this will pass. And he'll be ahead of the game because he wants to buy a duplex. Like, that's his big thing. And he said, he said, all that sounds good. But if this administration is moving forward the way that my cousin, who's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white male, who himself is trying to get out of here, is telling me, then even if he did buy it, they'll just simply take it away from him. They'll probably make him, as a black man, move to a certain area. And if they deem that whatever purchase he bought should be for a supporter, or should be for their officers, their community, whoever it may be. He said, they deem that they want it to be a white community where he bought his property, there's nothing he can do. They'll simply take it away from him. And I thought about what you've seen happening over in Gaza, what they did, in these documentaries. And I'm like, damn. My roommate said he's going to liquidate all his assets and probably buy one of those homes in Japan or one of those ones in Italy outright and get there and figure out what to do. Because he is even scared that he's going to have to make a decision. And he doesn't want to be in a situation where he has to. And he said the worst case scenario, if they don't go all the way that way, he said, his cousin said, it's going to be hell for women. And he said one of the strong indicators, and I just made this video today, where I talked about everyone who has degrees, everyone who has the money, everybody who has the resources, the education, all the scientists, the accountants, the doctors are all leaving. And on this post, someone commented that they lived in Lagos and they're trying to figure out a way to stop the brain drain. Remember that word, brain drain? And he, to go back a little bit, said the big indicator that things are headed that way to what happened in 1940 something is there is a big brain drain going on right now. And I'm like, I heard that word earlier today. It's funny that you're saying it. And I said, what does it mean? And he said, what it means is that all the people who have resources, education, and facts, like reporters, doctors, scientists, engineers, that can prove this administration wrong or possibly stop them with their resources, are running or are being scared out of this country. And what's going to be left are the people that support this administration and those who have no power to stop them. When he said they possibly will be at the airport in Atlanta, like the imagery of that just kind of. So I got my girlfriend who says rich people are saying watch your mouth. You got a white man with blonde hair, blue eyes, who works in special intelligence, who's trying to get out of here within 6 months. We have my white male roommate is saying, you need to get out of here, and I'm trying to get out of here too. You do with that information what you will.
Okay, you guys, definitely leave your thoughts down below. I like to have a discussion. Like, you don't have to just agree with the stuff I agree with. Tell me what you think, how you see it differently. On my voice, actually, like it's just been a tiring day in general, but we're just getting exhausted and basically abused on a daily basis. I can't tell you what to do, but I could tell you just by what I feel and what I've seen, right? And it's funny because before the video of Yaya actually came up, it was like I think like two different girls. Now keep in mind that video with Yaya, that's the lady in the red shirt. Well, she did that video almost like towards the end of August. She did that video. And luckily somebody I know, they had shared it. I don't stay on like social media and scroll unless I'm looking for something very, very specific. Yeah, someone close to me, they shared it and I'm like, I've been thinking about reconnecting and talking to that person, and I might need to get some more information on certain things. Like minds, talk to each other, have community, build community right now. Yaya did is not even like in the millions. If you've seen her before, you probably recognize her. I remember seeing her content a little bit around the time of the overturning situation. It's crazy. You gotta censor a lot of things, but that video is not even in the millions, and it really should be. So I'm just gonna bring it to the people who may see it on here. How about that? And it's some really sketchy things going on right now, but the more awareness you have, the better chances you have of doing something about it, keeping on your toes. And you can't turn a blind eye to this right now. So, have a plan. If anything, you took anything from these videos, just have a plan. Any general plan, just have a plan of some sort of what you may want to do and get resources so that you have that choice to make. Okay? The lady talking about the banking, I'm surprised that she. Oh, wait, yeah, that's where I'm going completely off track. So, I had seen a video popped up on my For You page. It was a girl that actually looks like she could be Yaya's niece or something like that. And she was explaining how she just seen Yaya's video talking about X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, how am I going to find this video? That's what I was thinking to myself. And then I got off of, TikTok, and then I went to something else, doing something else around my house. And then I came back, and then I was looking for the other video that I wanted to do, more videos for that. And so, this other girl pops up on my For You page, and she's like, people are not taking stuff seriously right now. I just had an argument with my spouse because they are not listening, and some people are just kind of like complacent and treating it like it's a normal day. They're not into politics and all kinds of things. Yeah, and she was like, I just watched the video with Yaya, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I gotta something is telling me to watch this video, or it's the energy is out there, right? And so she's like, I'm gonna tag it. And so she had it right there tagged. Um, Now I don't follow Yaya. I probably do now, but I didn't think to follow her. I was seeing her content like on YouTube regarding the overturning stuff, and people were reposting her stuff. So I didn't never follow. I never went and followed the creator. So I went to her page. I was like, okay, now which one of these videos is it? And then it was pinned. The first video pinned at the top of the page. And I'm like, Okay, like let me just look at the pins. And then that was the video that I just showed y'all. So I'm saying all that to say, very long story there, but I'm saying all that to say is that the energy, the warning sign maybe, is kind of blaring to some degree today. And maybe I'm supposed to give light to it and push it out a little bit more. So that's just what I did, you know. Now regarding the lady and the banking, I'm surprised that she started banking with Wells Fargo. Her video popped up in between, either last or in between both girls that I just mentioned. So this shit is escalating, y'all. I know you know this. The people who watch me, I know that y'all are probably like more aware than typical and stuff. It's escalating. And just keep a plan in mind. Keep your money safe. Because shit, you need money. You need, as a woman, you need money. You need to be able to have your money. So I ain't going to tell you what to do exactly on here, but you got some ideas in your mind about when I said keep your money safe. Have it in a trusted place. Some people, I think, in the comments were saying like a black owned. Look into black owned credit unions, things like that. Or just, do what you gotta do, right? Things are dodgy right now. And I just want women to be able to protect themselves and be able to make moves. Definitely, I'm gonna close this off with probably another video now that I think about it. I hope you guys are safe. Hope your family's safe. I hope that you're staying aware. I hope that you're monitoring everything and somehow keeping your sanity intact and staying just as beautiful as you are in the process somehow with all this shit going on.
They are working on passing a law to revoke and refuse to issue passports in the United States. They are saying for political and legal debates, money owed to the government, national security reasons. They're just coming up with all these different reasons. And they're trying to push it to where they're trying to expand that and come up with even more reasons as to why they want to revoke and refuse to issue passports to United States citizens. They want to keep us here. They don't want us to leave the United States. This is why they're doing this. That's the real reason. But they have to come up with all these excuses. But I seen this coming. I seen this coming.
House Resolution 5300. This is a bill that could trap you inside the United States. This would allow the Secretary of State to strip your passport based on accusations alone. No conviction, no fair trial, just suspicion. That means students, activists, immigrants, anyone who speaks out could be silenced. We need to stop this before it passes. Call the House Foreign Affairs Committee at 202-226. Big update on the HR 5300. Section 226, which would have allowed the government to deny or revoke passports for people only suspected of terrorism without trial, has been removed due to major public backlash. Good job, guys. This is a big win for due process and for free movement. But the HR 5300 still contains serious threats to our rights. We are not done. It expands the State Department's control over passports and travel regulations, increases surveillance powers, and makes it harder for everyday Americans to challenge decisions about travel and documentation, much less anyone else. That means your rights and privacy are still at risk from this bill. The bill is active in Congress right now. Lawmakers need to hear from you. Make the calls, send the emails, tell Congress to protect our rights. House Resolution 5300 must be opposed until there is no more threat. Phone number, email in the description along with the script to help guide you through the work. Keep up the good work, everyone. See you soon with more updates.
Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.